So in case any of you are wondering, even though this is more of a bit of a jump in, the reason why I'm circling items on various parts of the map is that's where I want you to pay attention. So you can see here we're spawning on shards. The music's a bit loud still, sorry. We're spawning on shards, it's domination. Now we have 4 battleships, tier 10 matchmaking of course. Main threats here, and here, H's, Spammers, and Yamatos. Now we're doing a 2-2 split, because you don't want to imbalance battleships in a random game. This is not the same as competitive modes, where you necessarily have home cap. In randoms, you kind of split up on shards, even though we have this even split, because you don't want to give the enemy a side for free necessarily. I'm here in the Bourgogne again. I'm gonna look for a flank because that's how I get my 380mm rifles to do some work. Looking for a proper broadside. He's slightly angled away based on the minimap, you can see. Okay, yeah, I'm capping. See if I can't interrupt that. Be easier with a spotter, but worth a shot. If he slows down, it'll hit him. If he accelerates out of the cap, then it will miss, but him accelerating out of the cap will already accomplish my goal. Repop pops up. It's a pretty good shot. I have modules, so I might as well just pop my speed boost now, expedite my path out of this obstructing rock. He's probably the flattest target I've seen all game. And we get a shot in on him at the last second. So we've seen just about half their team, a little more. Shells only land just now, looks like we missed him, probably underled by a little bit. Shimakaze pops up. Don't think it's going to be an extended trade, switch back to armor piercing. Shot is out and he fades. So far we've seen only Henry here, and most of their team seems to be moving away. 2 over penetrations. Saw a low HP Young there briefly. Watching that Des Moines on the very edge of my range. He is actually in firing range. I do need him to reverse a little more though. Using my speed boost to hard reverse, I want to get a good firing solution before I commit. And I'm going to commit my reload booster here. Hopefully you'll get relit. Not confident though, so it might end up being a wasted booster. I'm gonna shoot based on where those allied shells are landing. Still worth a blind fire. You can see how wide the shots go without the dispersion bonus. So no point staying here anymore, obviously. It seems like it's just a Henry 4, maybe a destroyer as well. Deploy to this side. He's speed boosting. See if he reacts. Gave him a pretty good lead. Unfortunately, Dispersion Straddle says no. Gonna exit out this way. I do need to get back up into the action, but leaving this Henry unopposed would be a mistake. Gonna aim a little higher this time. Looks like he's slowed down. Do get that Citadel though through that 25mm plate. Zed shows up. Pretty short range torps though, and looks like he went after the gearing, so easy enough to disengage. Shimmy pops. Inside Des Moines radar. He probably has torpedoes up. Switch to high explosive after the armor piercing salvo. And temporarily hard stop. My turret's not gonna be ready for my next salvo anyway. He's smoking. Time to accelerate. He's trying to squeeze past that rock here. So we know his exact path. So we know the approach angle of the torpedoes. If I had a reload booster up, I would have used it. Turning north. Expecting to turn back down. He didn't turn back down, but I did set a fire. not lethal though. Des Moines finishes him off. I am gonna switch to high explosive after this salvo. Now I'm actually gonna pitch downward. So I'm firing from undetection. Pop my reload booster for a bit of burst. Maybe we can catch this already off guard or break a rudder with my first HE salvo. Double fire, broken tubes. But he's turning away now. Best not to waste our time. Repub is sending a salvo at me. It's gonna hurt probably. We're lucky, hits pretty high. Looking for my retaliatory salvo. Looks like that Zhao is gonna straighten out. 20 kilometers. Let's see if he predicted this turn right. He did turn. Oof, not quite fully accurate prediction, but pretty hefty salvo there still. Drop him to half. We're on the side of a lot of battleships here, but we're at quite a bit of range. Your Yang pops. #1 priority. Doesn't matter if I wanted to shoot that Thunder. He is my priority. He's smoking. Slowing. Anticipating he's going to glide a little more. 3 shells, 5 shells, dead. See how important it is there to shoot destroyers when you have that opportunity. Had just 1 shot to do it, you have to make sure it counts. Enemy team is folding somewhat, and with their Yang dead, we reduce one of the threats. So I'm gonna turn my way back north, don't want to join this. Remember that crossfire triangle I've explained before, 23 kilometers Henry 4. Oh, okay. Pop that speed boost at the last second to try and dodge those. 23 kilometer lead, not bad. 7k straddling. Now normally pushing through the center wouldn't be advisable, but we have more or less complete map control. Pretty hard shot, but he is going to turn when he meets the border. So I'm going to anticipate his turn, fire like that, and assuming he's going to turn out. And if he doesn't, then he doesn't. Oh, he is turning out as I predicted. Well, looks like the shots are a bit short and over though. It's fine, we'll get a second attempt as I beach. Only front guns here because of the beach, but it's alright. It means we get a follow-up salvo. He's straddling the border, so he's just gonna slide along it. First salvo skims him. Maybe my allies finish him off. Doesn't look like it. He's dead. Looking for broadsides. Look at the minimap. The only real ones we see are Smolensk and Zhao, and they're in cover for us. I know this without even looking. Des Moines about to turn out though. If he straightens out at all there, we'll catch him. Nothing else to shoot at, so rear gun is going to go to the destroyer. Oh, double Citadel on that predictive shot on the Des Moines. He did straighten out and caught the Citadels, even though he can bounce my 380mm shells. Someone finishes off the Des Moines. There's a nice flat Thunderer there. Are you sure you want to do that? He's sitting almost still. Oh, accidentally occlude my back gun even while my reload booster is running. It's a bit of a pity. Dodge is out of the way. Fire anyway on the repub just to make use of the reload booster fully. I'm gonna re-beach because of this. The greedy damage shot. Can't do anything about that. 10k salvo onto the broadsiding repub. Looking at Smolensk. He's smoking and disengaging at full speed, looks like. So I might not have led that enough, but we'll see. Not gonna bother healing. These guys are all contained. I don't think I can die. I'm gonna make use of my adrenaline rush as much as possible. Probably didn't have enough time there. Yep, they're too far back. I'm fully broadside, playing from range now. Now ideally I would have gotten closer, but because I'm greedy to get these shots off, I'm gonna stay like this. That looks like he's gonna pop. He's slowing to a stop. Didn't anticipate him quite correctly. He didn't fully slide. I see my shells mostly straddle him. Smokeflume says he decided to stop trying to stop. Can't get the proper lineup, gonna have to do this blind. Thunderer's pretty broadside as well. He's turning in, so I missed that for sure. If anyone shoots at me, I'm gonna pop the heal. So I'm watching priority target while I line up my next shot. Alright, no one's shooting. Game ends. Pretty straightforward game there. Still only average damage. Need to do a little better if I want to make a name for myself on the Bourgogne. German dispersion was frustrating, but these things happen. Alright, next matchup. Not purebred Churtens this time, and there's a carrier, but we're on Northern Lights. No Yamatos this time, but double Smolensk. Not spawning on the side channel here, so center spawn, 2 battleships here, 2 battleships here, so I can flex to where I please. I'm closer, however, to this side, so maybe look for any cruisers going here, going here. Starting off early going this way though will give me access to anyone trying to slide into this corner. Okay, I'm gonna head towards D then. My Smolensk is detaching and heading towards AB. So I didn't see it earlier, or I didn't see it in any of these games so far, but earlier today, I was playing against a Hakuryu in the Bourgogne, and what actually happened was that I got citadeled by the Hakuryu of his AVDBs, which surprised me because normally French battleships are quite resilient to armor-piercing dive bomber citadels. I'd characterize the Republic and the Alsace as quite resistant. So, but the carrier player I was playing against, who was actually quite good, was citadeling me quite consistently. He made 3 passes on me and citadeled me 4 times, I want to say. There's that flank position I was mentioning, where people are trying to get into position. Looks like there's enough targets to warrant our reload boost. I'm gonna try for that broadside thunderer first though. Conqueror hull, nice fragile hull. No, I don't have a great view of him. As I mentioned, he might go dark. 1 shell, 3 ricochets. So he turned in. He responded to the shelling. So I'm not spotted, so he's in this corner with the Minotaur. No time to worry about that. Smolensk up. Trying for pop shot on that thunder, but can't seem to get it. Gonna take a look for a pop shot onto the Smolensk. He's probably not looking at me. Would be nice to have the reload boost for now, but can't always have nice things. Shells look pretty good. Pretty good cluster there. Double Citadel onto the Smolensk. Hopefully they can finish him off. He's healing. Just fight him. Yeah, don't smoke, fight. Don't be absurd. Looking for broadsides, maybe this Montana turns. We'll see. Gonna wait right here in this position. Have a great broadside shot. Now the destroyer is here inside this cap, but I know he hasn't crested past the midpoint line because I'm not detected. Spotted by carrier aircraft. My auto sector's the wrong side. Looks like he's turning. No, he's holding his angle. I'll take my 2-hit techs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 gun destroyer. Fast rate of fire is a gearing. Alright, fine. I will move my position here. Not that interested in sustaining sustained fire. Now the Bourgogne actually has pretty decent AA, but you can see that with the help of a heal, even a Lexington is able to inflict quite heavy damage onto me if I don't react, more or less, and just let him hit me. Hit me with 5 torpedoes for 6.5 each. And then I take about 20% reduced damage, so about 25,000 damage from the tier 8 carrier right there. So don't ignore tier 8s, people. There's a Smolensk who did get away in spite of me chunking him out early. Spotted by aircraft. Trying to get into the smoke. I'm gonna borrow this. Minotaur does shoot a salvo at me. This beach might actually help me dodge those torps. And those shells. Pretty good broadside shot onto the Thunderer, or Montana rather. But he's turning slightly out. A bit hesitant to take the shot. I want him to straighten back out a little bit. Which looks like he'll do it here. He's getting close to the island, so I'm waiting. Doesn't look like I have any luck. I'm gonna take that shot, but not reload boost. Looking toward the Minotaur in case he instinctively fires at me. 7k in pens. No such luck with the snapshot. Thunderer behind him. He's broadside now. Sorry, I was responding to the Lexington as you saw. Reload boosting. This first shot will act as tracking. Looks like I want to lead a little more. Smolensk pops up. I'm gonna just heal tank this first fire. I'm gonna take my time lining up this shot. Not a clear shot because of all the spray. Unfortunate, he turns away. That's even 3 overpens at this HP are enough to probably cripple him. If someone would help me with him. I don't want to tank this forever. Smolensk is still up. He's smoking, which means he should be slowing down. Having a decent game, but also having an argument, so not talking too much. Kill on the Minotaur. Quietly having a good game, but this moron is kind of ruining the mood. Probably could have reload boosted earlier for other targets. 5k. That'll be our last level. Pretty unimpressive game. Mostly shooting on tier 8s. 159,000. 5 sits, 77. A lot of ricochets this game, unfortunately. Nothing very special at all. 150,000 is nothing for the Bourgogne. If I go to the detailed report, you'll see. Mostly just free damage on people broadsiding. Not impressive myself at all, but as you saw, those 5 torpedoes I took, that was hurt. See if we can get one last game in, maybe get a more impressive match, where I don't have to spend brain power arguing with the morons that populate this game who don't know what they're doing. Pure tier 10s this time. Sleeping Giants. Spawn on the flank, which is perfect. Just gonna start the throttle, go down the flank. I'm the only BP on this flank, so my job is clear. Did not yet check matchmaker, just flicked at it. Sorry, doing something in the background. Make sure my mic doesn't take too much damage from something. So anyway, midway. So midway's pretty bad for Bourgogne, unlike the GK or the Kremlin. I don't have that many heavy armor plates, so I pretty much take damage all over, although they technically take damage all over as well, but also have a very small hit point pool compared to either of those ships. Henry 4, annoying, Hindenburg, Hindenburg, Moskva. Not too much in the ways of fire spam if I can avoid the booster. Gearing, Daring, Shima. Midway rockets. Looking at that Henry. Looks like he's gonna turn out. I'm gonna reload boost just to try and catch him off guard while he's dodging torps. 5k. He's nosing in toward me. We're gonna get one more reduced reload salvo. He's full turning. So I don't quite catch him. Trying to protect my Smolensk here because the Henry can actually threaten him quite easily. Spaced armor, however. Alright, at this point, GK is now fired, so I'm going to take my time to turn out. Don't want to take any fire from the battleship here that's shooting at me for extended periods of time. Now a fair lead, even though he's quite close because of his rapid speed. No punish, however, even though I land 6 shells, mostly overpens, hitting the wrong spots. But at this point I'm angled away against everyone except the Henry 4. Maybe a destroyer who's screening him. Still spotted. There's a DD here then. So there's a destroyer. Moskva slowly reversing, aiming kind of where his back turret is then. Gonna full turn out back to with the cap. My Smolensk got deleted by Moskva radar. Made the mistake of sticking around. 3 ricochets. So a bit too much angle. My shells landed on the wrong part for the Moskva. It does happen. Don't sweat it. This time I'm quite a bit further onto his side. Just want my shells to land into the side of his nose, not even looking to citadel him. Destroyer pops. Tsushima. Well, he's over there. Nothing I can do about it. But he can't torpedo me now because I'm behind this island, so I don't really care what he does. Gonna stay behind this hardcover for a little bit. Wait and see what happens. Wait for my turret to come to bear, use my speed boost to slow down. Moskva's in an awkward position. Henry should be able to farm him if he has IFHE. I'm kind of pinned here as well by the Shimakaze. I don't want to glide in front of him. I want him to come back out onto this side, become worthless, and then attempt to torp me, and then I can accelerate away. Because right now I'm invulnerable to torps. Okay, so that's 1 tube. But because Shimmy has 3 tubes, it's kind of a bit nerve-wracking to fight him. GK's gonna pop. Gonna fire from cover here. It's nice and broadside for me. Might even be worth using a reload booster if he stays this way. Nice 16,000 chunk. Just gonna reverse all the way. Looking for some information. Henry is pushing in. Hopefully he goes into the cap. Pushing all the way would be pretty inadvisable. Okay, so I'm spotted. So Shimmy is just about here. Could also be the Moskva potentially. But I would outspot the Moskva. So as I get spotted, I get shot at by the Moskva. Oh no, that's a GK. 2 sets of 6 shells. Take a fair bit of pen damage. Shimakaze lights up. He re-smokes. I already turned my turrets. I have a chance to hit the midway. My Henry has successfully made it into the cap. Gonna pull away from my position. Only 2 pens, but can't always get what you want. He's gonna angle in. So with that in mind, just gonna switch to high explosive. Raking superstructure hit from the GK. I'm on the run now. Remember, I'm a fairly low HP battleship operating essentially alone on the flank. More like an oversized cruiser than anything, so I'm gonna shoot HE at this Moskva until he damage controls with fire. At which point I will reload boost. Oh, he got that off. Annoying. Now at ranges he's going to be quite a bit more accurate than I am. He's moving forward. I'm content to stay in concealment here until he breaches me. I'm moving away from him at 28 knots. He should catch up shortly. Ammo switching. Was going to hit that Moskva because he looked like he was turning. But I'm going to get ready to chunk out this Shimakaze instead. Using my reload booster there as a bit of an expert loader. 7 AP shells into the Shimakaze. Now imagine those were HE shells, he would have just straight died. He's turning out broadside now. This time I have the high explosive. Unfortunately, dispersion says no. Gonna need my Henry to hard spot him when he pops that corner. He's watching the Moskva though. He should shoot the Moskva, I don't really care about the shimmy. Moskva's hard stopping. $7K with HE. Shimmy chooses to torp him, so I'm going to turn around. I'm going to fire 2 rifles and see how he reacts. Full stopping. Fire the last rifle. Ah, alright. I can take maybe 2. Not 3 for sure. He does die after inflicting some pretty heavy damage onto me, thanks to my mistake. That midway bomber is going to cause problems for us now, but we are at least out of detection for the time being. Hopefully those Moskva shells hit me before my damcon ends. Doesn't look like it, so... Oof. Okay, so they contacted me in the last half second. It says there's terrain in the way, but I'm trying to squeeze that shot off into his nose. He's pretty well angled though. And just 1 torpedo launch protection hit. Took a fairly hefty chunk. Ironically, the best salvo we ever got on that Shimakaze was that AP salvo. But that's just battleship gameplay. Gonna wait for my last heal to re-engage this GK. He's up a lot of HP, but I'm fairly confident I can manage this. As long as we get the opening salvo. And we get our heal back up. Probably gonna be AP into HE until we close. He just fired, so I'm just gonna open up now. Moskva's turned in, so this is a full-on 1v1. Giving broadside right now. Don't think he's gonna shoot me though. Slide behind this island to get that concealment. Gonna pop reload booster and switch to AP because of the way he's angling, or not angling rather. He got a fire on that last salvo, remember. I expect him to correct his angle. I should correct mine. I don't in time, however, so you see me take a nice 14,000 slap on recording. That's why you angle, people. At this point, I'm gonna limp away, showing my stern. Not ideal, obviously, because it masks most of my forward firepower, but don't have much of a choice. I made too big of a mistake. Now we're left with 1 rifle against 2, more or less. shell straddle. He's not shooting me for whatever reason. Maybe waiting for me to try and greed. He's not even looking at me now. It's very rude. Looking at me again. Yeah, I think he's trying to bait me into under-angling. Gonna risk a full salvo here as I crest across this island. He's smart. He is waiting for it, but he's not gonna get it here. Bounce most of his shells, set fire, but I think his damage control's back up. Note the Moskva on the corner, so I'm gonna have to start angling for that too. There's the Moskva. At this range, I'm gonna just shoot for his nose. Someone's saying nice running, but I'm French. That's what I'm for. Aiming right for this area here, the 25mm nose section. Gonna run my heal. Waiting for that AP salvo and my booster. Don't know why he's giving me broadside like this, but I'll take full advantage of it. Should kill him off here. Unfortunately, in my haste to get the angle for the citadels, I have under-angled for the GK, so this might kill me. Oh, German dispersion says no. That means I get another greedy salvo because our salvos are desynced. Oh, okay. I survived just his front guns. At this point, I got my salvo off. Ooh, he did manage to get a shot off at me. Need to be careful. But the game does end, bringing our saga to a close, I suppose. $180,000, but again, nothing too impressive. 122 shots, 7 planes, 2 incaps, 1 actual kill, 3 fires, 2 sits, and a secondary hit. Team score wise, another plain Jane game. Been pretty unimpressed with myself over these past 3 games, but it'll do, right? Just some casual Friday gaming with some with the World of Warships player base, let's just put it that way. Anyhow, that'll be that for this brief Bourgogne session. I hope it was somewhat entertaining. You can see some of the power. I will admit that I'm not the most proficient Bourgogne player, but we got to see a pretty good variety of what the Bourgogne can do. And last but not least, let's see if we can get a super container. Probably not though. Nope, just a regular container. You'll know immediately if you get a super, you'll get that blue flash. But there you have it. Bourgogne. Just before we go away, I guess I'll give a brief rundown. This is using Honoré, Jean-Jacques Honoré, the French special captain. Not legendary, but special, I guess you could say. PT, AR, probably for French SI first, into fire prevention, into concealment, back into turret reverse, into basics. Instead of basics, some people have been opting to take Jack of all trades and expert loader. I leave it to you which you prefer. If you like burning, or if you like to leave fires burning and you find that you don't damage control that much, then take basics. If you use your damage control a little more actively, then take Jack of all trades and expert loader. Modules are straightforward. Main battery, the turrets are fragile. Speed boost if you have one. If you don't, take probably just tankiness. Aiming systems for increased main gun performance. Bourgogne's a main gun performance ship. More tankiness. Concealment so you can get away if you really need to. And reload. So just some quick Friday Bourgogne. Hope you enjoy. Cheers.